Hey, welcome to Morning Mindset. Today is about self-sabotage. What negative habits do you have that are sabotaging your efforts and getting in the way of your success? And what's your self-talk around you and your goals? I want you to ask yourself if your ideas support you or hinder you. Because so many people are totally unaware that they're sabotaging themselves. They think the way they do things is just how they are or who they are or it's the way things are. So ask yourself, what's your self-talk overall? Where do you go when you get stressed? Because that's a really good indicator. Like, what's your default? Like, negative self-talk is a huge, big self-sabotage problem. Not only because half the time we don't even know we're doing it, but it's totally demotivating and stressful, and it causes all these negative, unhealthy emotions, which can lead to harmful and rejecting feelings if it goes on too long, or if it becomes your default. You end up feeling not being good enough. And I know we've all been there, but a lot of people just can live there, and you get these feelings of shame, and then that turns into sadness, and then you've got guilt, and they're all low level unsupportive emotions. And when that happens, when you go there and negative is your default, every one of those negatives you run your life by becomes deeper. It becomes more entrenched, and it gets reinforced over and over and over, and that causes you to fail over and over and over. And it becomes this vicious cycle. It's like, I thought I couldn't do it, so I bring into my life circumstances which tell me I can't do it, or somebody tells me by how they treat me that I can't do it, which makes me feel like I'm hopeless. And it's just this negative, destructive behavior that interferes with everything about your daily life, and it keeps you limited, and it keeps you in struggle zone. And it's a self-sabotage. It's like I imagine it's this big giant wrecking ball for your happiness. And that negative self-talk wrecks so many different things. Like, it can wreck an otherwise happy relationship, which is great everywhere else, but your partner has got this negative self-talk going on, doesn't even realize it, doesn't want to talk about it, and gets angry when you do want to talk about it. And the impact that it has doesn't just impact you, it impacts everyone around you. Or you can end up on the other end, staying in a relationship that you know is not good for you, but you're there anyway because it's familiar, and that's a whole nother thing. But so many people who sabotage themselves can just carry on because that's how they've always been. And it doesn't mean it's right. It just means that they've learned that behavior from somewhere, and maybe they think they're protecting themselves. And negativity is a hereditary thing, obviously. Not hereditary, it's what you were born with, going back through the ages. Or people procrastinate. That's another form of self-sabotage. Or they limit themselves somehow. And then you've got those people that self-medicate or comfort eat or use distractions like TV and drugs and alcohol or other things. Just do something to avoid dealing with what they're feeling. So while others self-sabotage doing those things, I know I used to self-sabotage by allowing my boundaries to be crossed, being a people pleaser. So people set themselves up for failure by having unrealistic expectations and unworkable goals. So there's so many ways that you can be sabotaging yourself and limiting what you can have, and it all comes from a lack of self-belief, or from low self-esteem or low self-worth, and that leads you to needing other people to validate you. I know I was always looking for someone else to give me the tick of approval and tell me that I'm good enough and tell me that what I'm doing is okay, and I'd wait for that thumbs up. And that's an even bigger problem, because then you end up seeing yourself through their eyes, which means you end up living their idea of what your life should be like, and all of that can keep you stuck. And tomorrow we're going to talk about being stuck, why it happens, and where it comes from. So until then, I want to leave you like I always do. That's you to live your best life and live it with passion. Reset, be authentic, and be you. Bye for now.